Hey everyone, welcome to the Hobbystreakers, Season 2, Episode 13. So, today Liam on 1896, myself on 727, I think.
What it says on the show notes, so it must be true.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the hobby streak, which is doing 30 minutes of hobby every day for the longest streak possible. Yeah, we also talk about news and stuff.
Also things.
So what are you painting? See, more
steel drop pods.
More drop pods. Yeah, cool.
I'm batch painting drop pods.
Alright. Cool.
I only slightly want to go mad.
Yeah. Well.
But I've got until the 5th to get all these done for an event, and that's a lot closer than I thought it was. So needs to get done.
It needs to get moving then.
Yeah.
And I am painting Kadin First Strike, which is a Infinity model. He's a fighter, and he's a kind of a wolf dude with a giant knife on one hand, a giant knife by its side, and yeah, jumping pretty dynamic, like the pose. So we'll see how I can paint this guy. He looks like, and I'm trying to figure out from the, yeah, he's wearing green, so, and so we're gonna do green. If I have green, I think I have a couple of greens. I should be fine. So yeah. Well, let's move on to shoutouts. You have a lot of shoutouts, I see. Ooh, a lot of people on 2 years. Cool.
Yeah, well, it's that time of year when people start New Year's resolutions, and if they've started doing the hobby streak for a resolution and they've kept at it, then
yeah, then about 15 days in, yeah. Cool.
Considering we did our last episode like right on New Year's.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We are catching up with those people.
Cool. I'm sorry, I'm making lots of noise. Oh, goodness.
Are you finished?
I am finished.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Catching
I'm
up
just
with people who
trying to figure my wet palette. There we go.
Catching up on people who will have got their 2 years in since like the 2nd or whenever it was we recorded.
So, it was the 2nd, yes.
So I've got Mama Negan on 700 days, Chief Nurgling on 2 years, Evan Austin at Surplus of Minis on 1,000 days, and Klab 2021 at LabK Painting on 700 days from Twitter. And I've got a whole slew of people on Instagram. So we've got Orkhobbystreak on 200, Sylthorn_hobby on 700, the_painting_pirate on 300, Zacdarkarts on 700. He's doing at the moment one of the McFarlane Sisters Battle models.
Cool.
Hive_fleet_chrysalis on 100 days. Friend of the show, Grant, at art_magos on 1,100 days.
Nice.
He's doing some Horus Heresy Mechanicum. He's getting back into that. He's been doing a lot of MCP recently.
Yep. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've also done. Him and Curtis have reached a year of their podcast. So
Cool. Kudos.
side note, shout out to our friends and yours, the Throwing Dice podcast crew, Grant and Curtis,
Nice.
for a year of your podcast. Mostly talking about Chinese food and Marvel Crisis Protocol, I think. Samsmahel or Samsmahel, I don't know where that S goes. 700 days. Seraphim.fl on 1 year, 365 days. And today, I say today, but I've just had a chat with this person, and they post up their photos a week later because it's easier for them to organise on their computer.
Okay.
So the Therealaslum on 700 days. So thumbs up
To everybody. Good job.
to my peeps and creeps.
Cool. Good job.
If I missed you, it's because I wasn't looking at my phone that much.
Yeah, no, if not. It's, yeah.
I do occasionally do like a tag through of like the day 100, day 365, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's just the regular hobby streak catching up, and then I see people if I see them, and if they're near a number, then I'll save it and come back to it and double check if I've missed it or not. But
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah, no, you're doing a much better job than I do. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
I was more tired Monday than I was Friday, and I was exhausted Friday, so I'm like, I just cannot catch a break.
Right. So what have
Anyways.
you been up to the last 2 weeks,
Well, so
my friend?
I fighted again with the podcast, which... Anyways. So yeah, for some reason, and it's probably gonna happen during this podcast as well. We drop frames, like we drop recording on. So the first time was just yours. Last time was yours and mine. And so I had my DaVinci Resolve, which is the program I use to do all this. I had it set up so that if there was an error in one of the recording, it will just basically stop the recording and say, hey, there was an error. So that was a pain. Change that to now it doesn't tell me anything, it just goes through the issues. So you're probably, like I said, we'll see a couple of times where it says file missing. Well, the file is not missing, it's just recording error, basically. Computer works a lot better. Last time I did the full encoding in 27 minutes instead of 8 hours and some change. So, yay! That was just so much better. So yeah, that was fun. Then, what else did I do? Well, so, for Christmas, and I am sorry if you can hear my computer ticking off, I don't know what's going on. So for Christmas, I got a static grass applicator. So I've been playing with that. Hit and miss, happy and not so happy. Still trying to figure out how to work it properly. Got shocked a few times. So yay, that was fun. So I'm just trying to figure out, because basically, well, I realized one thing is your glue needs to be pretty liquid. Because you want the grass to be able to get back up once you go over it again after doing it the first time. So that's kind of what you want. You want that grass to be able to pop back up again, or more if you prefer, than the first time you go through. So if you have a very gooey PVA, then that's not gonna happen, and then it does not look as good, and then you get frustrated and pretty pissed off. But then, so I managed to do a section that worked really well, I think. Well, compared to the previous one. But yeah, so I did that. It took me a few trials. Got some 4mm, and I don't remember which color. If it was a green, but like I don't remember if it was medium green or dark green. Since then, I got 4mm light green and 2mm medium and dark green. So I'm still waiting on 1 4mm and 1 2mm, because I've bought basically 3 of each. So yeah, looking forward to trying some more. And yeah, I've been just experimenting so far, and we'll see how it goes. Other than that, I almost finished my bandits, so I'm pretty happy about that. For the silver bayonet, I have worked on my crew as well. So my crew is done. I just need to do the base, but everything else is done. I've painted them pretty flashy colors. What? Yes, I know, the base, still. The other ones, the base are done. I just need to put a wash on it and everything. I've worked on them a little bit more, but yeah, the Space Station Zero crew, like I said, I've painted all of them. Now I need to do all the bases, but they're looking good. I like the paint scheme, which is nice and flashy, like the art cover of the game. So yeah, that's about all I've painted. I mean, so I got also, like I said last time, I got Dominion as a board game for Christmas, and my kids are obsessed. So we've been playing that way too much. So I actually ended up, like, when was it? I think it was yesterday. After playing, I lost count of how many games of Dominion we played. That I went, okay, we need something new to just take us away a little bit from that. So I bought Cascadia. So yeah. And if you don't know what Cascadia is, it was a pretty big game, board game again. This year, yeah, I think it was this year. And so yeah, looking forward to getting it and playing it, because I think it's a pretty good looking game. So looking forward to that. And that's it. That's about, well, and then I worked on my game. I did a few cards and stuff. I'm still playing on trying to figure out how to make a whole page of 9 cards for the abilities. I'm thinking that the equipment and the attribute, I might do the tiny format. You know, like the Euro, I think they called Euro small or something.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So because the spells, right, whatever you want to call it, the powers, they have a table because you roll for each, and then the table tells you what happens. So that needs, even on a normal playing card, it's it's readable, but it's at that limit. While the equipment and everything, there's not a lot that will give you any, like, there's just text. So I'm pretty sure, and I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure all of it will fit on a normal sized. So I think I will go with that.
Yeah.
And that's yeah, I think that's it. That's what I put. Yeah, that's so it doesn't sound like much, but well, that static grass thing, it took me forever. Again, well, because I was just trying out, looking at videos, I tried to do some tufts, and I should take a look at them now, how they're looking. Some of them came out okay. So yeah, it's a learning curve. Like when you see people going and be like, hey, yeah, it's like, and you take your thing and you go, oh yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's all good, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Well, not for me at least.
Does when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyways, yeah, that's... yeah, frame rate are gonna drop, blah blah blah. Yeah, if that computer is dying on me slowly. But it's okay. You're still good. You're still doing your job. So anyways, yeah, that's about it. So what have you been doing?
So I finished building the last drop pod that I was doing during the show last time. Part of that was undoing some of the assembly that I'd done because I'd missed some stuff out. So I did that once I dropped the recording and while I was uploading the footage and my audio to you to go back and...
And sorry, you can hear the heater turning on. I'm sorry, but it is freezing in my garage. So
I finished the Havocs, so they're all striped up. That was quite interesting to do that as well, because what I did was I got the hit location table for a role-playing game.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't want these to be like uniform and symmetrical with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll 3 times on the hit location table, and just those are the locations that I'm going to have be hazard striped.
Okay.
So there's some vamp braces, some greaves, some pauldrons, some face plates. There's the whole shebang, and I've spent a lot of time patch painting drop pods. So like you can see that the one that I'm currently holding, the black is 2 or 3 coats of black over the insides of the top of the fins, the outsides of the fins, and the main panels of the door. It's 3 layers of yellow on the centre part of each of the doors, times 4 pods, and then it's like
fun.
2 or 3 hours to put to get all the masking tape lined up to do the chevrons, and then that's 2 or 3 coats of black per door, and then you rotate and you do 2 or 3 coats of black, and then you peel it all off, and then you've got to touch up the yellow where it's seeped under the masking tape.
What masking tape do you use? Just regular?
Revel.
Okay.
Revel masking tape.
Because I know that a lot of people are saying for like panel lines and stuff like that, apparently Tamiya makes a awesome masking tape, like the best one, blah blah blah, whatever.
So I've got this stuff, which is 2 or 3 mil masking tape. That's for doing curves, and that's what I use on power armor bodies.
Okay.
But the Revel stuff is just for flat panels. That's what I use it for.
Okay.
So, and a lot of where the seepage is because the the flat panels aren't flat because they've got rivets on.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening. Boy, I'm just. I'm still here.
Yeah.
I was looking for paint. So yeah, okay.
The rivets bring the tape up in places, and that's generally where seepage happens.
Cool. Makes sense. Makes sense.
And I'm not the tidiest painter in the world anyway, so there's always going to be some.
Well, aren't they supposed to be
up.
like battle damage use kind of thing anyway? Like, do you use sponge and do like sponge damage on the edges and stuff?
No.
Or on the thing itself? No. Okay.
No.
Because I
don't tend to play too much with battle damage. The drop pods have all got, or will, in the case of the one that I'm painting, have re-entry burns on.
Yep, you talked about that last time, yeah.
Because that's really easy to do. You just flip it upside down, spray directly down on it with a black primer. Job's good. Also means I basically, like this bottom part of the pod here, I basically don't have to worry about painting or putting any sort of paint on,
because
or cleaning up the bottom of the doors where I've gone over the lines with the hazard stripes. Like, don't have to worry about that. That's just going to be black when it stops being cold out or raining or windy or
all of the above.
Whatever the British weather decides it's going to be doing today. So
yeah, it's still freaking cold
here. Just some of that. And yesterday I didn't have a game at the club, so I was like, right, I'm going to take some stuff down to build so that I can look at something that isn't a drop pod for a couple of hours, so that I don't go completely insane.
Yeah.
So I
Are you dreaming of drop pods? Are you dreaming during the night? Drop pods! No, drop pods! No, no.
I'm gonna have 6 of these in the army.
How many have you painted? Like, how many total have you painted so far?
I've painted 2 regular drop pods, 2 Deathstorm drop pods, which are basically the same, but the insides are different. But they're not going to be in the army because of rules-based shenanigans that I'm upset about, but don't really want to go into right at this precise second. I've got 2 Dreadnought drop pods, which are 3-sided and bigger instead of 5-sided and small. And I've got a Charybdis Assault Claw, which is the big, like, kilo and a bit giant drop pod with spikes and claws and stuff on, cool. And all the magnets. Nice. So
if you...
it's going to be a fun army to play when it's done.
It's not been a fun army to paint. Is that what you're saying, basically?
If the rules worked the way that they were supposed to in terms of the similitude, then I wouldn't have to have done these 2 out of the 4 that I'm currently painting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have been able to swap them for the Deathstorm drop pods, and I'd only have to paint 1 of those.
Yeah.
So I'm a pod in total more than I was planning to be when I originally concepted the army.
So do you already have all the dudes that are inside painted?
Yeah.
Those you
So
have.
that was the spoilers that I was doing, or I mentioned last episode, the Havocs that I finished in the last couple of weeks. They're going to be in one of these as well. So,
cool.
So the army, such as it is, to go slightly off on a small tangent, is a drop pod assault army. Hence all the drop pods. So what you do is you put 10 guys in one of these in your spaceship. You fly up to where you want the people to be, and you shoot these out of your spaceship at where you want the guys to go. And then they land, the doors all pop open, and your men's get out and start murdering things. So,
can they get injured on the way down?
No.
So you cannot shoot the pods, or you cannot. Like,
So
they cannot
the
suffer any damage when they land, or
when the pods land, the enemy has a chance. So the pods land. They have a chance to do to cause what's called a pinning check on enemies that they land near, because a giant, like, what, 30-foot tall lump of metal came hurtling out of orbit at hypersonic velocities, landed next to you. The doors opened, concussive doors openers, and then people have got out and started shooting at you. So you've got a chance to make people you land next to hit the deck. But after they've landed, you deploy the units that are in them, and then the enemy has the opportunity to, if they are able, to make an interception reaction to shoot at your guys who have gotten out of pods. So hopefully,
cool.
I land next to all the big important things, and they go, "Oh shit! Something's just landed 6 foot away from me.
Let me hide."
I'm gonna duck and cover for a second.
Panic and run! Panic and run!
Not panic and run, just go, ah!
Hit the deck,
Pins,
hit the
shell
deck.
shocked. Yeah. But, like, the law, the verisimilitude, the whatever, is that if you're deploying this way, you don't have a lot of opportunity to bring heavy armor or heavy weapons with you. So they developed the Deathstorm drop pod, which is it's literally the same casing, but instead of like the troops harnesses and all the stuff that they've got in there, they took all that out and put like a rocket system in.
Okay.
So it opens up, sees something, goes, is that a friend or foe? And then just starts spitting missiles everywhere. They're not very accurate, but it's target saturation and it's volume.
Alright, cool.
And like, but the way that the rules work is that the drop pod assault, that rule that lets you do that lists the kind of drop pods that you can take.
Okay.
It's Legion drop pods, it's Legion Dreadnought drop pods, it's Legion Charybdis, and Legion Dreadclaw drop pods. So I don't have any Dreadclaws. But the Deathstorm drop pods aren't on that list. So then you go to the Deathstorm drop pod, and it goes, right, I'm a Deathstorm drop pod. When you select me to be in your army, I have to deploy via something called Orbital Assault Reserves. And then you select back to the drop pod stuff, and it's like, right, all of our drop pod stuff has to go in Drop Pod Assault Reserves, which is a different kind of reserve.
Alright.
And then you go, right, the Deathstorm drop pods, if they can't be deployed in Orbital Assault Reserve, then they're automatically wrecked when they're deployed. And they don't do anything. So I'm like, right, I could pay 90 points per model to put an automatically destroyed model onto the table. But I'm also bad at the game, and I'm not especially optimal, but very flavorful and niche army build. So I would rather have the points that I spend on stuff actually be doing something, rather than
which makes sense.
Rather than handicapping myself for the sake of fun. So, doing that,
cool.
which means that I have got a Deathstorm drop pod. Well, I've painted 2, and I've got a 3rd sat in the foam case that I bought for the amount of drop pods that I thought I'd need.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to have to take out when I go to the event in February, so I can put the other drop pods that I didn't think I'd need in.
Are you looking to sell them, or do you just keep them? You keep them?
I will keep them because the way everything is worded makes me think that that's an oversight on their part.
And that might change.
Another part of the drop pod assault rules is that if everything in the drop pod assault has the inertial guidance dampeners special rule on it, then you get to re-roll a dice to see if your deployment is ordered or disordered. But everything in the list of things that you can put in there so far has that anyway. The Deathstorm drop pods are the only thing that doesn't have that.
Okay. Yeah,
so I'm like, why say that if the thing that doesn't have it can't be in the thing that would... Yeah?
Yeah, makes sense, yeah. Did you write to them and be like, hey?
I sent them an email and I went,
you?
hey! Games Workshop!
What's going on?
Deathstorm drop pods are literally there to fill this role in a drop pod assault army, and it doesn't work?
WTF?
Is there a reason for this? Is it supposed to go in there and you forgot to put it on the list, or what?
Cool.
And I think because everything's brand spanking new, they're going over like the big fixes and the
don't make
sense
stuff
first.
will get
So I'm
stuff will get FAQ for sure.
I don't want it FAQ. No.
Of course.
I mean, if they turn around and FAQ it before the event, I'm going to be like, what the fuck do I do now? Which army list do I take?
Aren't you supposed to submit your army list already?
2 weeks before the event.
2 weeks, okay.
We are currently, as of recording, the 16th. So I need to submit my army list on Sunday.
Sunday
the 22nd. So it's a good thing I checked that, because I thought I had another week.
Alright, well.
So,
cool.
Am I going to get everything?
Nope.
I should get everything painted.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were asking if you were going to get the FAQ. Probably not, but everything painted? Yeah, sure.
Everything painted, sure. It's because I can crack a drop pod out in a week. It's just I'm trying to do 4 of them all at the same time.
Yeah.
So, the last 2 I've just got to do stripes and the little details. So
cool.
I should have them all done by the end of this week. But done is in air quotes because I don't know what the weather's going to be like in terms of being able to do like the retro burn spray and varnish them. So, shrug. Maybe kind of good. Maybe sometimes shit. It's basically the weather at the moment.
Yeah. That's the way it is. Okay, well, so I saw that you had a first look in there.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
So we've got Dark Fantastic Mills, which are a company that produce fantasy terrain mostly.
Okay.
Here in the UK, they've done a lot of the terrain for the narrative of Age of Sigmar event I went to last summer. They've got a They've got a Kickstarter, their first Kickstarter, going live as of recording tomorrow. So, by the time you, our wonderful listeners, get this in your ear holes, it will be live, it will be up, and I'll have tweeted a lot about it. So,
yeah, now you might actually get it not too late.
Yeah. It's always nice when something gives you advance warning that is happening and you get to talk about it on your podcast.
Cool.
But because the Kickstarter is not actually live yet, on the Kickstarter page, all you get to see is a banner image. So This is for the Chaos Citadel. So think the gates of Mordor from the Lord of the Rings films. That's basically the vibe I get from looking at their header image. It's meant to be brutal and opposing. And
so is it supposed to be fantasy then?
Yes.
Okay. So basically anything from Age of Sigmar to what's
Frostgrave.
The Mantic one?
Kings of War.
Thank you. I was like, shit. I had like I had King, and I was like, King what? Kings of War. Yeah, Stargrave, Frostgrave, like you said. Probably There's a bunch.
So
Forbidden Psalm and all that. So all this can be used.
Launches 17th of January at 4 p.m. GMT. STL campaign with limited physical and early bird pledges. So
that's cool.
I will be working when that goes live, so most of those will be gone by the time I go on my break, I think.
What do you mean? Oh, because you need like they do like early bird exclusive, and then there's like 300 of those, and then okay.
Yeah. So they've got on there. I linked their Twitter as well because all the pictures are currently on their Twitter.
Yeah, I can see that.
So they've got
limited physical and early bird pledges. Oh yeah, okay.
They've got something that they're calling My First Chaos Citadel, which is like a My First Castle book for kids. So they've got a corbelled latrine, perfect for pooping on your enemies.
Nice.
And they've got some stuff where that's just some of their regular stuff. That's some of their regular stuff. One of their stretch goals is they're going to have options for it to be all mutated and twisted with like teeth and eyes and claws coming out of it. So that's going to be cool.
Like Mimiki.
They've got gate development pictures, like the early version of the gate and what it now looks like. So it now overlaps with itself. It's got toppers on the hinges, this, that, and the other.
Alright, cool. Nice.
Can I find anything else really cool?
That sounds like a pretty good
solar tower to go in the middle. Got a little video of them opening and closing the gates. My first Chaos Citadel.
Gate development.
And yep,
That's pretty
they've
cool.
got lots of pictures that people have just submitted of like landscapes near where they live that they've photoshopped this evil citadel into the middle of.
Cool.
Look cool.
Nice.
But oh, here we go. I should probably see if I can send you this. There we go. Let's put that in the show notes because I forgot that was a thing. Bang, 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 bang. Have a look at that.
In the show notes?
In the show notes. chaoscitadel.com.
Yeah.
So it's lots of like the development of how they've done that, how they painted it, and it's a quickie WordPress website with a lot of that on. And I'm like,
cool.
Yay! I like castles.
Yeah, no, like we said, you know, if it's not too skeleton, like if they don't put like skeleton heads everywhere,
it doesn't look like there's skulls everywhere.
Then it definitely can be used for a whole heap of different games.
Yeah. And it looks like there's loads of space on the battlements and the ramparts and the corners to put models on, which is always nice because you do occasionally find castles that various terrain companies will sell you
that are not practical
big
because
enough for you to put your dudes on. It's like, I want to put my dudes on my castle so they can man the ramparts.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
Because it's too small.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
so that's my first look because I'm probably going to be pledging to that tomorrow.
Well, I will definitely take a look at the STLs especially. Because, yeah. Man, those, those with some snow on it for Frostgrave some of it will look great. Especially for the new expansion of Frostgrave. Don't remember the name, but yeah, cool. Well, thank you, sir, for that. Definitely, people. Well, hope I can get that early enough so that you guys still have access to the early bird special. That would be good.
It all depends when I can get my break tomorrow at work. So normally I have my break somewhere between 4. Got to start my break between 4 and half 4. So I can go on my break around the time I want to.
When does it start, you said?
4 p.m.
UK?
Yeah.
So
GMT.
So 8 my time, something like that. 7 or 8 my time, AM. Excuse me. So yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Cool.
And yeah, I mean, it's all going to be STLs and stretch goals by the time it gets to be reasonable over where you are. But
yeah, no, and I mean, and it depends the size of it, but you know, like some of those.
I think that will depend entirely on which bits you get.
Because I mean, you can. If they do it so that you can you have multiple parts, then sometimes it's good to have the main building structures in FDM because that's cheap and fast to build, but then get the like the details of some, you know, like a few tiny details to print those in resin and just put those on top, or you know, on top of like columns and things like this. Sometimes it can be cool to mix the two, but again, depends on how they do their stuff. I'll definitely take a look. Cool.
Because I think this company normally just sell you the physical thing. So this is them going into STLs. So.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're still gonna sell you the physical product as well if you're looking for that. But so that's cool.
It's cool because some of their other terrain is quite nice as well. So I've been looking at that with a view to convincing the club to buy some, because we've got one box of dedicated fantasy terrain at the moment. Which is nice, but I want to fight over something else for a minute.
Cool. All right. So, let's see. Our news. And this literally just came out, and so I have not had a chance to look at it because it came out today. But there is a new rule set for Legion. So it looks like they were talking about and I think I talked about it.
Was it last episode that they updated the crisis cards?
No, that was
MCP?
They've showed a few updates on line of sight, movements, fear, and routing of troops, in all that in Star Wars Legion as well. Right. So they've been working on those for a little bit now, and they've been posted stuff before saying, hey, this is what the changes we're gonna make to this type of rule, this is the changing and we're gonna make to this type of rule. And now all the changes they talked about are effective in a document, and that's kind of what that document is. It's all the new rules updated and everything. Some of it, from what I've seen online, some of the changes they were planning on doing had a pretty good reception from the people. They were like, oh yeah, that's gonna be nice to have this option and blah blah blah. Oh yeah, this was always stupid and we don't know why it was there. And now a lot of on the silhouettes as well, because a lot of people were complaining. Because your dude is jumping from a base or something, then all of a sudden it's visible.
You've got line of sight because he's on a tactical rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now all of it will have a cross section that you can see or not, blah blah blah, and that's it. And I don't think that was such an issue for casual players, because you're like, hey, is your dude supposed to be behind? I mean, yeah, my I know you can see my dude, but he's crouching behind this cover and blah blah blah. And you're like, yeah, that's fine, dude. I understand, and you don't really care.
Yeah.
But some of it was just made no sense, and you're like, yeah. So I can see the top of the lightsaber of the guy that's standing on the body of a dude, and you're like, all right, dude, seriously, yeah, you can shoot the lightsaber, yeah, that's fine, but technically in the rules that was, it says that you can see the figure, so blah blah blah. Well, you can see less than X%. I think there is still there's something like that in there. But it all makes, those are annoying because it only applies, for me, it only applies to people that are really playing competitive. Because other than that, you don't, unless you're really being an ass, you don't really care about it. Yeah. So anyways, so those are came out today. I know a lot of people were just, one guy was asking, he was like, do you know what time they're gonna... Dude, you're that okay, yeah, sure, yeah, but
do you have a game lined up?
It's come on, half of those already that are coming out, what those are gonna be, most of them anyway, because you've read so much about what's been modified and all this. So sure, dude, it's okay. But anyways, so I have not seen yet. And I'll put the link. There's a few other things in there. Combat forces and stuff equivalent to combat forces, but yeah. So there's a few things in there that are, I think, will be interesting for people. So yeah. Please go ahead, go read. hopefully by next time I will be able to tell you more about it and be like, hey, this is how the community reacted to it. I'm on a couple of Facebook pages for Star Wars Legion, so I will see how people react to it. I'm also following a couple of YouTubers that talk about Legion, so we'll see how they react and be like, this is bullshit, or oh, it's pretty cool. But, and I think, alright, it is a, and I'm gonna say political, but you know what I mean when I say it's a political statement from Atomic Mass Game because of Shatterpoint. Because Shatterpoint came out.
We are still supporting this game.
Yeah, exactly. Look at us. We're still doing rules for this game. Your game is not dead. We did not throw it on the sideline. We did not stop caring about it. Look at that. We even redid all the rules and tweaked all the little things that have been bothering you since the game released and have not been addressed yet and were never addressed by FFG, but we addressed them and we hope that you like it. And look at us, we keep supporting it and doing our job. And I think that's what this document is.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, it will solve a lot of the little shit that was annoying to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy with that, the direction it's taking. Of course, you will have those people who are going to be like, well, it was fine before, why did they do this? It was fine before, blah, blah, blah. Because everybody knows that tabletop gamers don't like change and don't like when things stay the same.
Yep.
So yeah, it's gonna be divisive, but I think that mostly it will be, because from the previous thing they talked about, like I said, the small previews they say about how they're gonna change the rules, everybody was like, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. But I think, yeah, like I said, it is a statement from them saying, look at us, we're still doing Star Wars Legion. And my other news is Anvil Industries. Haven't seen up, and I still haven't not answered them. They actually sent me a message, could I stop supporting them on Patreon? Sorry. Nothing to do with their stuff. It does not fit in any of the games that I play, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah.
It kind of does with Stargrave, in a way, especially those like the cultists now, like those cultists. Well, they did the mutants, which my mutants dude right there. So they did the mutants, and I'm just gonna put them on a video camera. So they did the mutants, which worked great for.
Oh, they're neat. They look neat.
Those yeah, the robbed cultists with guns and stuff. I mean, they look awesome. Like they will fit in a lot of games really well, and I think a lot of people will find what they want in there.
Curtis, get these and get them for those more time games that you keep saying that you're going to be running.
Because I mean, they look, yeah. I mean, some of them with swords and things, and some of them
the flamberge swords.
Yeah, and it's funny because you have like everything from like crossbow to flintlock to sniper rifle, futuristic.
That guy to the right of the guy, the deer head on the altar's got like a fucking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a space blaster type thing. Blah blah blah. Yeah. No, I mean.
Yeah, those are definitely not lasgun barrels.
No, and if you go down the link, like you see like so many different heads, a lot of different bodies, so many different heads, so many different arms holding so many different types of weapons. Do you want to put the sword? Do you want to put the knife? Do you want to put the flintlock? Do you want to put futuristic things? Do you want a hood? Do you want... And again, like, yeah, it's... When you see the tons of things they have in there, you can make... I mean, you can make an army of freaking cultists without any problem. And not have two guys looking the same. Like, it's crazy. Now, if you do this, my advice is build those guys in Mesh Mixer. Do not just print and try to put them together.
No, because the hoods aren't going to line up, are they?
It does, but then you have gaps. And I don't know where they are. Like the original... Yeah, so if you look at... That's... And I'm gonna put it in the camera, but that's the original I did. And you can see like a waistline gap. And I don't know if you can tell in the camera. But...
Kind of.
So you have that waistline gap. You have the arms are okay on this one, but on other ones, like... You know, and you can see where I've tried to put some putty and everything and fill the gaps and I filled the gaps and I was like, why am I even bothering with this shit? And then I went back in Mesh Mixer and I was like, all right, I want that dude, I want that lady, I want that head, I want those arms, and then you put them on and then they come in one piece. And that's it. The way they design them on a computer, because they design them and then they cut them, and then they do the connection of the cuts and everything. And the problem is, and I don't know if we can, like there, it looks like the arms this time they've made some knobs, which is good because then that gives you a way to align them. But if they're flat, and then to align them is a pain.
Yeah.
Like especially hands. Like the hands are just a dip inside the sleeve, like, and then on the other side you have a little bump, and so basically, like, so you can position them the way you want, but it's still gonna leave you a gap. Now you can do the same thing, position them and everything in Mesh Mixer. Yes, you feel like it's taking you a lot of time to do that in Mesh Mixer, but it probably took me less time to assemble them in Mesh Mixer than it took to assemble them in real life, then put the putty, then redo the thing, and then and fill in the gap and do all these things. So at the end, I think it's much better to just do it, and that's what I would say with their product. And there was another one, turn-based combat is another one that their STLs are better if you just assemble them separately. So yeah, here we go. And those
those look really cool.
Those look really cool. Yeah. I really like them. That's why I put them in there. So hope you guys enjoy. Go check them out if that's something you want. Realize that when you do the Patreon, you will get access to their welcome package, which has a whole bunch of stuff in it. And so yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's a good value. It's not what I'm using right now, which is why I've discontinued my subscription to their Patreon. But if it's only because it just does not fit what I'm playing now. But that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool. And that's it. So, what about you?
So I've got some stuff up here. So today, Warhammer Community put something out called "There are a lot of bloody things in the Age of Sigmar, but what's the bloodiest?" And I was like, okay, this looks strange and weird.
Cool.
What are they previewing in this, or are they just doing something dumb? Because they don't normally do something dumb unless it's previewing something.
All right. And so
I had a look at what are the 5 bloodiest things in the Mortal Realms video. And at the end, they show the silhouettes for the two things from the New Year models preview silhouettes thing. Excuse me, for Age of Sigmar. That I was like, all right, that'll be a Slaanesh and Khorne foot hero for a new dual box when they redo the Slaanesh and Khorne books for Age of Sigmar. And it turns out they're going to be from the new Warcry box set, which is called Bloodhunt.
Cool.
So I was wrong, and it's taken 2 weeks for them to say that, hey, Liam, you're wrong. So, good job. The next thing I've got is from Pro Painted Studios. It's a vendor that I use quite a bit. They make a load of MDF dice trays and tokens and acrylic tokens and token holders, so they're all like magged together. So I've got a big box with like 2 or 3 trays worth of tokens that I just take away. They've released their upgrade sets and token sets for the new Age of Sigmar season, because the new General's Handbook went on pre-order on Saturday. Comes out Saturday coming. New season, new tokens. Some of the tokens are the same, so they've got an upgrade set if you want to keep some of the ones from last year if you've got that. They've got a full set if you want to get all the new ones. So
cool
for them. They sent my order out, and then their Twitter today was like, oh, the MDF cutting machine that we use, we need to do some emergency maintenance and repairs on that. So I'm like, did you guys cut my tokens out and then your machine died?
Nice.
Oops.
What did you do? No, but yeah.
But yeah, like I got my brother a load of tokens for his Age of Sigmar army from them for Christmas. So
that's nice.
Because I bought stuff before Christmas in December for them, they gave everybody I bought stuff over that period like a voucher to spend in January.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So I got the upgrade set for I think it was like £4 in the end.
Oh wow, cool.
And then postage. So
what kind of terrain they make? Like what style?
It's not terrain. It's tokens and gaming aids.
Oh, so okay. But in MDF, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Their tokens are acrylic. Their battle tactic trackers are MDF.
Yeah, makes sense.
So they've got
cool
magnets in, so you can track them on a magnetic turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. But the tokens are acrylic, so you chuck them on the board next to your models to remind yourself what buffs you've got where.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nice. I like acrylic. Up, I would like to have a laser cutting machine to do some acrylic stuff, but that's never gonna happen.
That's expensive.
Not too much anymore, but the problem is the ones that are not that expensive are pretty dangerous.
Oh, yeah, also that.
Like when you see and people out there don't buy those. You see, like they put those ads on Facebook and everywhere, like, hey, 3-in-1 laser cutter, engraver, blah blah blah. And the laser is freaking open. And it blasts. So first of all, fumes are nasty. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you're gonna fucking blind you, Seraph. And that's fucking stupid. Because this is why the big laser, they have a whole freaking enclosure around them to suck up the freaking fumes. And to have a glass that, when you look at it, the laser is not gonna freaking just blind you for life. So don't buy those shit, and until, like, I don't know, it must come with a freaking warning like 3 pages long and saying, hey, you bought this, you fucking blind yourself, we're not responsible, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't buy those. Like, yeah, and I know a Glowforge or something like that is freaking, thousands of dollars, but there is a reason why. Because they are safe to use, so yeah. Well, safer to use. They still can electrocute you and all kind of other things, so yeah, and set fire to your house if you're not careful. Also, by the way.
Fire is hot.
Yeah, and laser burns and laser catch fire to whatever it burns, and yeah.
Yep.
House is burnt down.
One of the other things that was up on pre-order on Saturday was the new Horus Ascended model, which is £92.50.
How big is that?
Hang on. That's the old Horus. The old Horus is about that big.
The guys on the thing of bones.
Yeah. So the old Horus is about that big from foot to head. The new one, the old Horus, his body comes up to the middle of his torso, so he's about that big. I want to say.
Wow, and it's 92 freaking wow.
And that is before you take into account the base, which looks like it's going to be about that big. So it should be like that.
Huge.
All in all. But most of the Forge-World Primarch models are have something like this going on. So they have like a display base.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the base is almost as big as the duties, so yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a bit on the back of the display base that you slot out, and there's a hole in there that his gaming base slots into, and you just slide him out. And then because of like so that it's not visible too much, blah blah blah. We go back to the same kind of thing. Same sort of thing, yeah. So like the current Horus model is stood at the top of a flight of stairs that's about 3 inches tall.
It's like Mr. For Marvel Crisis Protocol, what's his name? Thanos and the freaking throne.
Yeah, the throne.
Yeah.
So he slots in there.
To display, and then you remove it, and then he's just on a regular base, and
yeah.
It's still freaking massive, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think he is now going to be the most expensive Forge-World Primarch model. So I think Magnus, who I was painting over the summer, was something like 85.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's a lot.
But yeah, there are some unboxings and paintings available on the YouTubes for people who want to have a look at those. I would recommend the Battle Bunnies because they have been supporting Horus Heresy content forever, and some of the other people who have been given preview content and access to all of these sort of things don't really play Horus Heresy. So I would urge you to go with the guys who do,
for sure,
and have been forever. Cool. Although I expect that there'll be like an article or two out on Warcom somewhere where all these like competition standard painters have done fantastic work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then last week's Heresy Thursday, we had Exodus.
Ow.
Ow?
I just bumped my elbow in the freaking thing. Sorry.
Don't do that. So, Exodus is a named character for the Alpha Legion.
Okay.
Who, rather interestingly, is not unique.
He has a giant freaking gun. Is that a sniper rifle?
He's a sniper rifle. He's a sniper.
Yeah, cool.
But he's not unique, so you can have two of him in your army.
Okay. How?
Well, you buy 2.
Yeah, but like, so he doesn't. Does he have a name? No, he doesn't have a name.
His name is Exodus.
Okay.
The many, I believe, is his title.
Oh, that's why. It can be many.
The Alpha Legion, their sort of theme is fuckery.
And that's in the lore.
Yeah. So, yeah, he will just, his rules, he will pop up somewhere on the table, put a really large bullet through the heads of anyone that you'll let him if you don't kill him, and he will then Zoidberg away into the middle distance. Yeah.
And be gone.
And be gone. And I like the fact that he's not unique, because Alpha Legion nonsense is
but so it's still a maximum of 2.
There are 3 HQ slots that you can use, but this guy can't be your general or your warlord.
Okay.
So you have to take another character, whether named or not, to be your warlord. And then you've got 2 slots left, which you could conceivably take 2 Exodus in.
No, what I mean is like you cannot have a whole army of this guy.
No.
Well, for whatever number of points, but yeah. So you cannot do that. It's still...
You can take lots of sniper teams and take him, and you could take a Centurion Vigilor, who's basically a generic version of this guy. And you could just have a load of guys with sniper rifles hiding around going, pew! And that'd be dumb. And I think I found my next army, so shut up.
I was just saying, it's like you can take, you said,
Because I could take, what is it? It's the...
And basically, like, by the time the people get across the board, they've already been sniped by all your freaking guys.
This contrast paint over silver would make a good Alpha Legion colour.
What is that color?
Aethermatic blue?
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
As a connoisseur of putting blue contrast over silver,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
And the previous Heresy Thursday was the Alpha Legion Mark 6 upgrade kits, which actually look quite good. The last bit of news I've got is kind of 2 bits. Golden Demon entries are now, you can now print off the entry forms if you want to enter something to Golden Demon in Manchester, UK in May. And yeah.
No, I'm saying shit because
I am also too shit to be entering Golden Demon.
I don't know which freaking paint I used. Emerald? Yes, Emerald. Cool. Yeah, no,
there's also open submissions for Black Library. So if you want to write for the Games Workshop's fiction publishing arm, they're taking open submissions at the moment. There's a link down there somewhere if JG remembers to put it there.
Yeah, I always put the link. Not necessarily if you're listening to audio, because
go follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, because the audio is limited by the number of character I can put, which sometimes means I have to cut some of the links. But yeah, not on the YouTube.
If you want to write for Black Library, now's your chance to submit that.
Cool.
Go write about Space Marines.
And I have another news, which is not in there. Ta-ta-ta!
Secret news.
Secret news. No, it's not really. So, Vallejo
Vallejo.
They started doing express colors, and I think I talked about those in a previous episode, that they were releasing those. There's been a few more videos, and those are like, I've seen some shorts and stuff on from Angel
Angelo Geraldes.
Yes. So because Vallejo is Spanish and this guy is proper Spanish, it was funny because I was looking.
He's very Spanish.
I was watching a video and my wife and I speak Spanish. Well, we learned at school, but we learned in Europe, so we learned the proper, Spain Spanish. Which in the US, not really. They do more Mexican than actual Spanish. But anyways, so it was funny because I was watching the videos and he's speaking in Spanish and it's subtitled in English, but he's speaking in Spanish and my wife is like, "Dude, this guy's from Barcelona. Like he really has the accent and everything." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is." It really does sound like from Catalan Spanish. So yeah, it was really funny, but. So, anyways, he's been releasing a couple more videos on this, and one of them that I've seen a couple is the difference between contrast paint and the Vallejo. And honestly, like, I want to put like $100+ on the side just so that I can buy it when it comes out, the set.
Right.
Yeah. Like, no, really. Like, they do more what I want in a paint than the contrast paint.
Okay.
They flow a lot more. So, you will, like, it's... I don't know what to explain. When you have a flat surface, it will really pull away from it and leave more of a filter on it, and then go into the recess and do that, like the wash in the recess, and the top looks more like a filter more than an actual contrast. Like contrast paint are I think are more opaque. They are matte, which I don't know how they did it, but they are more. They're not, it's not flat, but they are matte. And they look like they flow a lot more, and like I said, it looks more like you're painting with a glaze. Like they've done, it looks like a glaze paint set. Like it's like a glaze mixed with a wash. Like it will do the glaze on the surface. So if you do I'm sure if you do a zenithal on those, they're gonna freaking look amazing. And if you do a zenith, like it does a glaze, but then in the crevices, it like the color is so much darker. It's crazy. Like go try to look from some of his videos where he compares the two. Like one color, you look at the both, and you're like, oh yeah, the contrast, it's pretty close to the contrast paints. It's a little bit different and everything. And then you look at another one, and you're like, whoa. That's completely different. But it's the same on the Vallejo side. That's one of the things that contrast paint have been criticized for.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily consistent between two colors. You will not get the same effect. It looks like the Vallejo have that consistency between two paints. And you could really see it. Like he did a blue and it was kind of the same, like a Talasar blue type thing.
Yeah.
And then he went into a green, and I don't know if it was the warp or not, but it was so opaque on the contrast paint. You didn't have that see-through effect where you could do like the effect on the...
Yeah.
And so you didn't have that effect, while on the express colors you had that effect. So you're putting in front of your t-shirt, I cannot see. Which one is that? Warp?
Warp lightning.
Yep, right here.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm really.
I mean, I was talking to one of my mates yesterday that a lot of the contrast is just all over the place.
Yes.
In terms of how it works.
Yes, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
No, and that's one of the big issues that, like I said, a lot of people had.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, you need to, you cannot say, oh, I'm gonna grab a blue, and this is how is gonna react. Now you know your paints now, and you probably can figure that out with your own paints, and you know what color is gonna do what color is transparent or not. But it looks like Vallejo actually maybe took longer than somebody like who did Army Painter also.
Yeah.
Army Painter took their time, don't get me wrong, and they came out with a pretty good set, and a lot of people were saying, you know what, they're pretty much the same, and they're also have differences between the colors, but for the price they're much better pricing because because they're a lot more, like they're a lot cheaper than would be a contrast paint. So that was the appeal. Now those are gonna be, from the looks of it, $5 a bottle. They come in standard Valero bottles, so I think that's a good value. Yes, for once it's kind of the only ones that you would like in pots, but I'm again not so sure. I like them in the bottles because I'm having the problem with the contrast paint that after a while the pots don't necessarily close that well.
That's just Games Workshop pots.
Yeah, the thing is, a paint is okay to dry up a little bit. A contrast paint dries a lot.
Yep.
And that is one big problem I have with my contrast paint. Is some of them are just.
I mean, that's one of the discussions I was having with Matt at club yesterday, was because of the different consistencies and the different like formulations, I think is the word I was after for the contrast paints, is like something like Apothecary White.
It's fucked. Mine is fucked.
There's like 4 different layers that you can see there. So you've got to, like, you're either shaking that forever or you get a vortex mixer and you just fucking put it on there for like 10 minutes.
Oh, mine is gone. Mine is just gone. It's just dried out now. It's and especially like I'm in a place where the climate where
this one. It's not technically a contrast paint, but you see that?
Oh, that's a green and a yellow. Why is it so? What color is it supposed to be?
That it's supposed to be a very neon green.
Okay, yeah.
But
so you got the neon and the green separated.
the medium is yellow and the pigment is green. So you've got to proper shake that up.
Yeah.
Nighthawk glue. The medium is blue. The pigment is a darker blue.
No, and that's one of the issues that So
this is the thing with being the first people into a particular space, is you get to make all the mistakes, and then people get to watch you make the mistakes and go, let's not do that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and this is the thing. It's like Vallejo started as a artistic paint range, right?
Yeah. So
and they still do, but again, I've always liked their paints, and I am a big fan of their paints, and so definitely. One thing they've done, which I thought was pretty cool, and that's for all their ranges of paint, they've actually changed their bottle, the plastic of their bottles, to be more transparent. Because, and this is a Vallejo paint, that bottle, if you remove all the paint, is actually slightly opaque. Which means that when you look at the bottom and you look at the color of the paint, that is not the color that's
exactly
gonna come out. Not exactly. It's faded a little bit and it's opaqued a little bit. And so they've changed their bottles now to be fully transparent. So that when you look at the bottom of the bottle, or you know, like you look at the bottle, the color you see is the color of the paint that's gonna come out. And I thought that was pretty cool. So they've really and they rebranded, and they've made their paint look any sense, you know, like they make it look a little bit more fun and aggressive, and their logo and their website, all of it is now like the marketing. They've really worked on marketing on this, and I think they looked great. And they don't, you know, it's not like, oh, Valero is that thing, you know, like, oh, it's so esoteric, I cannot find it anywhere, blah blah blah. They've really worked on just getting that feeling of, oh yeah, it's cool now. And
shit,
it looks, no, it's not shit. What did you do?
I'm trying to put this piece of tape on straight.
So yeah, so anyways,
that wasn't straight.
Was my,
and now it's
out of
not
nowhere
straight.
Out of nowhere news, because you talked about something. You were talking about some contrast paint or something, and then it just popped in my head. I was like, oh, I need to talk about this.
Last bit of news.
Really?
That isn't on the news, but I heard on the shoutouts.
Oh.
Ashelyn is taking commissions.
Again? Cool.
Again. So go give her your money to paint pretty toy soldiers for you. She's good at it.
She's really good at it. It's fucking annoying, but she's really good. we say it with all the love, but man, it's annoying someone that comes in and has been painting for 6 months and paints better than you've been painting after 4 years. So yeah. But she's very talented, so definitely give her more work so she can win perfect her skill and win a golden demon or something like that, because I'm sure she eventually will. So yay. And dude, we were the first one to support her and to tell her that she should paint full time.
We were up there, yeah.
And that's what she's doing now, so kudos to her, and yeah, all the best. Yes. Well, how's your drop pod looking? Drop poddy?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm tidying up the squad markings on these two. So this one here on this side just needs the silver tidied up, and then that's ready to be I say weathered, but I'm just going to slap Nuln oil over it. And this one here needs a couple layers of black. Oh god, that's loud.
What, my
yeah.
I'm sorry. It like I said, it's
knocked up a little bit. Yeah. A couple layers of black on the squad marking, and then it's just the bronzes and the tidies, and then the oils. I say oils, non-oil, and then I just need to do it all again on the other two.
Well, my little dude looks awesome. I've not painted like this in a very long time, so I am really, really happy how it turned out.
Oh, good. Little clappy clappy.
Yeah, no, yeah. You will see the pictures, but I've got like proper highlights and shadows and mid-tones and like yeah. It's been a while since I actually like painted.
I just want it to be nice out so I can prime this guy, so I can
painted that. So yeah, very happy.
Do my Ghoul King.
Cool. Come on.
But alas, it is garbage out.
Oh, here too. Well, here I don't know. It says sunny, so it's probably sunny and minus something. So, well, actually no.
Yeah.
Wow, it's 1 degrees. It's actually pretty nice out.
We're going back to minus numbers this week.
Yeah, we're going back in the minus tens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you live in a dumb part of the world.
I live in a cold part of the world. Very cold.
Yeah, dumb.
No, it's not dumb. It's nice. Alright, well, that's it for today on this guy. I will have a few touch-up to do and then figure out the base, because there's a chunk of something on the base, so I need to figure out. And I need his giant knife thingies to be painted as well, but those are gonna be easier. But man, I'm happy about the way he looks. I need the highlights on his hair. And well, everybody, thank you for joining us. Sorry about the heater and stuff. It's still, like I said, 1 degrees outside. It's probably 10, 15 in my garage, thanks to the heater. If there was no heater, it would be
balmy.
5. So, yeah. But yeah, and I gonna have to go get my kids soon. So yes, awesome session. Like I said, I'm really happy about this guy. I think he's gonna end up in my Space Station Zero new crew, which are all gonna be Infinity models. I think that's a good idea. So I'm making a third crew of Space Station Zero, and they're all gonna be Infinity models. If I can paint them half as good as I'm painting this guy, I will be very happy. But yeah, he looks. I will take a picture, and I'm really happy about him. All right. Hopefully this will come out pretty quickly, because now I can render a whole video in 20 minutes. It's so fucking awesome. And I've been playing video games too, which is awesome, because I haven't done that in 20 something years. I finished Star Wars Fallen Empire, because the new one is coming out next month. Fallen Order, sorry. Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
The other one, Survivor, is coming out next month or something like that, or March. So I wanted to play it before.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, yeah, again, thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your grandma. Come, people, more people subscribe. We're at 122 subscription, so yeah, it's nice. Yeah, you know, we're slowly growing. If we get to 600, we start making money, like probably 3 cents or something. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I think it's 1,000. I think 600 you can start doing something, and then 1,000 you go. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're just having fun, and I hope you guys enjoy the talks. And again, if you have any question, there is an email in there, thehobbystreakers@gmail.com. So send us comments below in YouTube if you want. Send us emails if you're listening to the audio, and yeah, come join us on Discord also as well. So.
Yeah, we've got some people on Discord, and they occasionally post us stuff.
Oh, man, and some people paint some awesome looking stuff.
Yeah, so. Just very super quick shout outs to Discord.
I never know to say the name.
Scroll up a bit. We've got Dragon Soldier, who's done some cargo and trucks. They look really cool. Freddie MC1R, who's doing 100 Stargrave models this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, I asked him why so many. He never answered me. I'm like, why are you doing 100 freaking models? Like, that's crazy.
And Tirsagon and Phil B, who are doing
Tirsagon does some really nice
amazing stuff.
So cool.
Tirsagon's doing the Black Templar model.
Alright.
At the moment.
Well, bye everybody. Bye Liam.
Bye.
See ya. Bye bye.